All right, all right. What's up, y'all? Let's get this intro music going. Uh, what up, though? What up, though? It's your good PJ Dakota here on the Say What show. I gotta let this music play out and then play again. Jim. Jim. What up, what up, what up? It's your girl PJ Dakota. Here want to say what show? Introducing my intro music for today. Music is provided by Rock Mass Entertainment. Yeah. Rock Mass. Yeah, let me get this on today's show, we got Phil Chance coming with us with some financial advising. We all need some financial advising going on during this pandemic, COVID-19. Yeah, I like the intro. PJ Dakota, say what show? We gotta stay focused, ladies and gentlemen.
This meeting is being recorded.
Jill, what up, though, fella? Yeah. Looking for one more person. Hey. I'm just waiting for my intro music. There we go. All right, here I come, y'all. Yes. Focus. Oh, y'all, we trying that as my intro music.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. All right, here we go. Let me get back. What happened to my thing? Hold on, y'all. My window disappeared. There we go. So how are you today, Phil?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Patty?
I'm doing fine. First off, let me say thank you for being a willing participant on my show.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you for being a sponsor for the Music for Mask event that we attempted to put on, and we're still gonna put on June 2nd.
Hey, you'll put it on. It'll work out. I don't worry about those kind of things. We'll get them taken care of. The biggest thing is making sure I can get invited back after today. We'll see what happens.
No, you invited back. It don't matter. You invited back for sure. I know. I just started something. We're gonna blame Charlie for that one. There you go. Sorry for it. All right, y'all, everybody. This is Phil, and Phil is a financial advisor, right?
We do financial research. So I guess I give you my spiel, right?
This your turn. Yeah.
Okay. We have Chatham Peer Associates, our little company based here in Houston.
Okay.
I come from a military background. Doing some intel work and some other things all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got back here to the house, I realized I could read and write and actually do math.
Right.
So I surprised all the naysayers and actually finished pretty top and all the.
I look like my brother.
Yeah, that's me. And so here we are. And so people ask us questions, like we said in our chat. We kind of come from the economic side of things, I guess, with a grunt spin on it, infantry spin on it, military defense spin on it. Kind of sometimes it helps make sense to what's going on or why somebody might be doing something crazy out there.
Nice. So anybody like during this time, how do you are you able to like? Why would I come to you?
The biggest thing right now is we have a legal services support side of the house, and unfortunately, the big thing we see on the uptick on the ground level are bankruptcies. You know, and people having credit default issues.
Charlie,
debt related.
I'm sorry. Hold on, Charlie. Can you mute your thing?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mute always gets you.
Exactly.
Gets me too.
Right. Go ahead.
By the way, I'm tucked in the corner of a nondescript part of my house right now because I got 100 kids,
right,
and dogs and stuff running around screaming. So.
Well, we like the flag.
Don't worry.
Right. No, we like the flag, but we like the flag.
That's why the flag's back there.
There you go. Got you.
But we get called or asked to basically either help serve that paperwork. You know, it's like I said, we've been seeing a lot of bankruptcies, unfortunately, and a lot of credit related stuff, divorces, unfortunately, which is usually happens in this time of year, oddly enough, anyway.
Right.
So being kind of the number dork that I am, I actually study moments, and I get to see the numbers coming through across my desk.
Okay.
Real time, live action, if you will. And then also people come to us for what we call due diligence, which is basically, looking into a trend or what's going on in the world. Hey, I'm thinking about, I don't know, I'm opening an ice cream shop in Saudi Arabia. Do you think this is a good idea? Yeah, so we look into it. Hey, this is what's going on. We got, Houthi attacks here, Iranians here. This is what's happening. And so that's kind of hits on our, our past strengths, I guess, if you will. We still do some of that. I have a little chat room that I share stuff with people where we talk crazy, everything from, what's going on in outer space to what's going on in the economy.
Wow, okay.
People gets the same old stuff. The reason why I want to come on here is mainstream media, the same old stuff. It's kind of boring. It beats you down. It'll wear you down. And so I think there's a lot of other alternative views out there. We all have a different opinion. Whether we believe in, you might not always agree with me or vice versa. That's what makes the world beautiful.
Right.
And I think we've forgotten that in some aspect. In fact, I remember saying this like 3, 4, 5 years ago to Elena. Hey, we forgot our ability to disagree. I don't have to agree with you. That's okay.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
But that's basically what we do in a nutshell. We try to wrap it in a professional package with shiny wrapping, and I try not to say too many F-bombs and hurt too many people's feelings.
The feelings, right.
Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
But when you hit my way, you're going to get an honest product. I try to treat everybody just like I'm from Conroe, Texas. Grew up in a trailer park and had no money. So I treat everybody. You are what you are until you prove me otherwise. And so that's what we bring, whether we go downtown Houston to, big multi-billion-dollar corporation or a small, 2 or 3 person shop. Right. So that's what we do.
Right.
We enjoy it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Good. So during this time, just on the topic of just financing, whatever, and everybody, it's a money issue right now for everybody, whether what type of income is coming in or whatever. Oh, yeah. Any advice you can give people? I mean, other than the normal, just save your money, but you know what I'm saying? People just don't see out the box when they need to, as far as seeing stuff in the future. Like,
sure. Well, that's the big thing right now. And I'll give my release, right. That take what I give with a grain of salt, right? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you anybody any advice other than what I would do myself.
Right.
And so the biggest thing is, even when I'm helping with somebody on taxes or anything like that, I always ask them actually, hey, is your company or who you're working for offering you a 401k? If they're offering you a 401k or some kind of retirement, take it. If they're matching it, take it. Because anytime there's a match, I don't care if it's a penny, it's more than what you're putting in. They're actually trying to match it. So I think a lot of people, even my age, even myself, I'm guilty of it. When I was 20 years old, running around the world, rocking and rolling, there wasn't no savings going on. There was all partying.
No, exactly, man. That's the slush fund. That's the slush fund, man.
Exactly. So put some money aside, rainy day stuff. This stuff. I'm sure we've all, parents have all said it. Our grandparents. Yeah. I like to sing, "How do you eat an elephant?" Right?
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
Yeah.
I think people have this preconceived notion that in order to save or to do better for yourself, you have to be perfect. which is not the case because none of us are perfect, right?
Right.
And I'm okay with not being perfect.
Exactly.
Because if we were, it'd be boring.
Right.
2, you do a little bit at a time. You know, like even right now, I put aside whatever I can put aside, $5-10 every day, whatever I can. I know when I was a kid, we grew up, we had the big 5-gallon water jugs full of quarters and pennies and stuff. And we use that. But yeah, I think I know I can speak even my own experience. My kids have gotten away from that. They want stuff. It's the microwave. I need it now or in 30 seconds.
Right.
It doesn't happen like that. Even when I want it to be that way, it doesn't happen. Like, so I'd say patience, bite-sized pieces, do what's realistic. It's just like a diet or working out or anything.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm going to lose
Small
80
pieces.
pounds. Nah. That's when you quit about 2 pounds.
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm good.
Right.
So, just, hey, I'm going to lose 5 pounds. All right, well, I'm going to save this month. I'm going to try to save $50, $100.
Yeah.
I got my 401k matching. And the great thing is now, even as like us as a small business, there are small business focused 401k and benefit companies out there. One of them I can think of comes to mind is called Gusto. And everybody, you can look that up. Gusto, Zero. They have a lot of products for small businesses. Small business, like one time we had 30 employees.
Yeah.
And I didn't think nothing of it until somebody said, hey, man, that's pretty big. I said, well, okay.
Right.
I'll just wake up and go to work, whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of small businesses are 2 to 10 people tops.
Right.
And so they get left behind.
Yeah.
Even if you got 2 to 10 people, you still want a retirement. You still want
to
sell out at some point.
Or something.
Get a house, whatever. And so a lot of people get kind of left behind on that, but there are programs you got to get out there and look for. So that'd be my biggest piece of advice is don't try to eat the whole elephant at one time. Don't do like in 2006 where you had people, mortgaging and financing 4 houses.
Oh, yes.
And in River Oaks, which is the fancy pants part of Houston here, but
right.
The Garden District in New Orleans or LA or anywhere like that, they'll get 1, maybe 2 houses right now.
Right.
The rates have gone down because all the, everything's lowered right now.
Yeah.
But it's people have kind of a linear mindset.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of financial stuff is stacked. It's multi-level.
Yeah.
Maybe the interest rates went down, but guess what? You just got laid off. So you can't really pay that great rate if you ain't got no job.
No, you ain't got no job. Exactly.
Exactly. So that's kind of what happens. Look at the whole picture. Be another thing I'd say. Kind of evaluate your finances. Be realistic. And always seek financial guidance. There's a lot of things out there that can help you. If you're a small business, there's a lot of small business resources out there like SCORE and things like that. A lot of veteran, like I'm a veteran. There's a lot of veteran resources out there. You got to do your homework. You can't just rush into it. If you rush into it, you get out of it. What you put into it.
Right. Now those veteran, because I'm big on veterans, helping them any kind of way. Because so I'm for veterans, but I'm a little, the other side is that I'm sad and worried about them because sometimes it doesn't, and maybe because you're saying, maybe people are not using the resources properly, but it don't seem like they're getting the help. There's too many of them that's homeless. There's too many of them that's, I don't know where they fell off at for that to happen. So I just, I guess the part I'm always seeing is a negative side of it. So are those resources really there to really help people, and will they help people if they go for it? I'm saying. I guess
they are, and I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna hurt some feelings right now, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
From my aspect, from my opinion, and what I view, right? I spent 6 years in Iraq, and about 3 years in Afghanistan, and about half a year or so in Saudi Arabia. So I've been all over the world. Spent most of my career in Fort Bragg on the East Coast, and I see a lot of people, unfortunately, abuse the term veteran. They abuse that status. And I'm not saying there's cases out there, just like with PTSD, a lot of people in the veteran.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see my
air
quotes.
I see it.
Veteran community, and we all know them, right?
Yep.
Hey, I got PTSD. I need $10. Well,
right.
Okay.
Right.
I seen some horrible things. I'm pretty sure I got whatever I had up with. Pretty sure I got it, but I don't run around with it and use that as my daily. One way to make money, and 2, I don't try to live on that. I try to move forward. And I think the first thing that kind of bogs the system down are the people that are not being, I guess, truthful in their claims.
Yeah.
And they slow things down for other people that actually have issue.
Yeah.
I see them all the time, stolen valor stuff. Oh yeah, I'm this, and I mean, we even had it here in Houston. There was a veteran organization that was supposed to be for PTSD, and the head guy wasn't what he said he was. So, I mean, if I had $10 million and I found that out, guess what? I'm not going to give you my $10 million. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Somewhere else, exactly.
So that does some harm to it. But there are resources out there, and it's just like anything. It just takes time. I mean, anybody's ever tried to apply for any kind of benefits of Social Security or the VA. I mean, we both have. My wife had cancer, and she went to the VA. And can you imagine how fun that was?
Right.
I think if you understand, you're probably going to get denied the first time.
Yep.
That's how they weed out.
It's the steps. Yeah, it's the steps. Yeah. Yep.
And then we just kept fighting them, and we find a couple. I think after the second time, she got whatever we got. But I know just kind of that realistic expectation. But there are, like I said, there are programs, and it's getting more and more and more. I try to use them very sparsely, if you will. I'm not that vet that runs around to Whataburger or McDonald's and say, "Hey, give me my 20% discount because I'm a veteran."
Yeah, man. Wait till my time, and I get the ARRP thing. I'm using it every chance I get. ARRP.
65. Yeah, there you go.
You gotta use the benefits.
Discount.
Yes, you gotta get it, man. Because you earned it, man.
That's right. But it always irritates me because I'll be standing next to this person and be like, I need a veteran discount. And I'm like, hey, what'd you do? I was, I ended up coming up with some made up answer.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I actually fought in some stuff and I ain't
ain't for the discount. Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So you get that a lot. And I see it. I know a lot of people. People ain't going to say it, but I know they see it too.
Yeah.
So that tends to slow stuff down.
Okay.
The other thing that kills me about veteran benefits and programs, and I'm not going to name names of
Right.
of the ad, but I hate this.
Yeah, let's not talk about time.
Yeah, 47 cents a day. What I call it, the 47 cents a day advertising, where you see the poor veteran that's crying.
Yes.
That's come on, dude. We're freaking we're
strong. Yeah. Everybody ain't like that, right? So,
but that's my viewpoint. So.
No.
I just pissed off all the veterans.
I know, after Memorial Day and everything. You can blame it on me. But no, I mean, you mentioned it, and I was like, you know what? I never really talked to a veteran about it. Like, this is what I see. Is that true? Is that because and so then I'm feeling sad and for him. So man, that's one of my things. Causes that I go for. Anything that's veterans, whatever it is, a parade, whatever it is, I want to support it. But you want to make sure that you support it the right way, and for the right people. So question
it, question everything, until proven otherwise. I would analyze it, ask the right question. Because like I said, it's just like somebody panhandling under the highway. They give you I don't have very much of a heart left, but even then, sometimes I'll be like, oh man, I ain't giving you nothing. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah,
you watch him go get a nicer car.
Nice car than you got. Exactly. And I've seen it. I be want to find you, man.
Do this is tax free.
Man, if you don't give me my $5 back. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Charlotte got some questions. Think she says India, China, and how it affects us. Our rates going up. I'm not okay. Carl,
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, what you talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
All right, go for
it. You're talking about it's a little known thing going on right now, right? You got so much stuff going on right now that other things fly under the radar, if you will.
Yeah.
If you check a Senate bill that's for orphan kids, always read it because there'll be other stuff in there that nobody wants to support.
Right.
And right now it's kind of the same way with COVID going on. Right now, at my last evaluation, China's basically crossed over into India in the northern mountainous region. Not very many people are tracking that right now. So if China's talked about increasing their defense spending and their budget, which should always be a concern because you want to know why.
Exactly.
What's the reason?
Who coming?
Who's coming? What are you up to? China's very aggressive in the South China Sea and and Southwest Asia in that area. All the way to Afghanistan. People forget about the Uyghurs. The Uyghurs they're put in concentration camps, and a lot of people don't know that. The regular people don't, whatever.
Right.
This stuff, and that's the Uyghurs. Human organ harvesting is a real thing, believe it or not.
Yes.
So I mean, they do.
Yes.
Yeah, they do some crazy stuff in China. People forget they're a communist country. Nobody. We had some classes when I was going through my master's degree, and some of the students were from China and different things, and they just you get a feel for it when you talk for them because it's a whole different region of information and
right
and the way the perceptions and stuff. like that. And like, we don't even know what you're talking about yet. Yeah, that's you got stuff going on. You're not perfect. Nobody, like I said, nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
And so right now, China's kind of started an incursion into northern India. And so people are getting a little bit upset about that.
Right.
As you can imagine.
You should be. Exactly.
Yeah. So India is one of, what's going on. And China's had a bunch of riverine boats on the coastline there, on the beachhead.
Right.
And they're right on the other side of their boundary. And I think as of this morning, they actually stepped over into India.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like when 2 nuclear powers. I believe India is a nuclear power now. Yeah. With a couple, a whole lot more people than we got.
Man, it's crazy that, and people fought it for a long time and never understood the concept of CNN being a 24-hour news thing. That ain't gonna work. Man, there's so much stuff that go on in the world that we don't know about. That what I'm saying? They got us with this loop every 30 minutes, but it's so much that's falling in the gaps that they not putting on TV.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that you really need to hear about or want to hear about usually gets kind of thrown by the wayside because it didn't have that sex appeal, as I call it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I'm watching to see where it goes. Basically, you got 2 of the largest supply chain suppliers basically getting ready to go at it. It's we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah. Man,
yeah, they're not happy.
No one should be. She asked another question. She said, "How much insurance should the average person carry?"
Like life insurance, or what are we talking about?
That's a good question. I'm
assuming she means like life insurance.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with life insurance. Let's go with life. She said home. That's what she said. Home
insurance. I know when I was doing the new insurance training and I'm insurance licensed, I remember them saying 3 times as much of whatever it is you got to maintain. As far as mortgage insurance and that kind of thing, I wouldn't know. I'd have to look into it.
Okay.
My background, I know what I specifically went into was life insurance and personal insurance. Usually 3 times the amount, like your income. So whatever it is, your income for up to 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way you can maintain, they could pay off whatever they need to pay off once your time came and went, and then kind of live on it if you had an injury or whatever.
Right. How was your Memorial Day?
It was good. It was actually pretty fun. A lot of most of my friends have passed. I knew the guys in Benghazi, or at least a couple of them. Glenn Doherty was one of them that I used to see every day. One of the places I used to work. Good guy. One of the few Navy SEALs that I liked.
Nice.
And got along with. Yeah. He was just a regular guy, and then so we got the news of that. Several many years ago it was now. So it's always been a kind of somber Memorial Day, and this one was actually a little bit upbeat. Our youngest, Marilyn Grace, she thought it was something to do with Mario, because she's 5 years old, and so she was running around the house saying "Happy Memorial Day."
That is so cute.
Yeah, so she had a cape on, and she thought something. Yeah, she could have swore it had something to do with Mario. So I was all right, baby. Yeah, so that kind of cheered it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually moody. I'm moody.
Right.
That made it pretty good. But we had a good time. I mean, it's just family here. The whole shutdown stuff hasn't really affected us as a household.
Okay.
We're real cellular. We're cellular people. We kind of come, I do my work. I come home and see everybody, and we are our own unit, I guess, if you will. So it hasn't had a bunch of change for us.
Okay.
Besides buying toilet paper.
Right. You one of the lucky people that got it before it ran out.
Yeah, I got some big boxes from
okay, got you.
I stocked up. I got $10,000 worth.
See, there you go, man. There you go. So in your area, I know, right? So in your area, I think you said you're in Houston?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. How has this COVID-19 affected that area that you can see or tell?
I always considered Houston to be a bellwether for this area. In other words, if we start, Austin's a bunch of weirdos, right? So see, I just pissed off everybody in Austin and the Valley.
Right, no doubt, right?
Austin's always their own thing, right? And San Antonio, we have all heard about them on the news.
Right.
They're fairly progressive, I guess, is a nice way to say it. And then Houston here is a good mix, down the line.
Okay.
You have both sides of the aisle.
Mhm.
Most, as we know, probably the big normal oil company that you think of, big tech type stuff,
Right.
going to be conservative. So if you see Houston, Texas shutting down and running around like our hair's on fire and excuse my language, all hell breaking loose
Something
and
wrong.
stuff happening, then you know something.
Right. Something's wrong.
It's
there.
not. It's not just it's not just us putting on.
Okay, gotcha.
And they managed to balance it out pretty well. There's been people disagree with the mayor and the county judge or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Alina Hidalgo, and that's going to happen. I mean, we all know we can't please everybody,
Right.
and for whatever reason, but it's already started opening back up. Like within a week, I couldn't tell there's any shutdown. Let's put it like that. People are out kind of doing what they want to do.
Right.
It wasn't like you see in New York where you had all the Karens in the store yelling at the lady to get out because she didn't have a mask.
Because she didn't have a mask.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen here.
Right.
You probably just seen a fist fight. Yeah, that wouldn't happen here. We kind of live and let live. And you leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. It's been pretty decent. We've had some crime uptick, that kind of thing. Yeah,
right.
As to be expected, I would imagine, just because everything going on. I know they emptied some of the jails or let some people out, like low level offender type of stuff.
Okay.
And it led to some things, it went. I couldn't really tell the difference. I mean, besides the traffic. I mean, if it could go back to lockdown traffic and everybody be allowed to do what they want to do, I'd be all right with it. I could drive around town and not have to not be in traffic for 2 hours.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So right now they got it where it looks like this 2020 is just in the can, basically. How does will that affect your job? Huh?
What do you mean in the can? What's in the can?
The man, 2020. I know, but
I'm
telling you, but they make it sound like it. No football, no NFL.
We still got aliens.
Basketball.
We still got aliens.
You right.
And murder hornets.
We got Bigfoot. Yeah, you right. We still got something.
Cannibal rats is what I was
right.
About earlier.
Oh no, that's some new stuff, huh?
We got time. We got some earthquakes too. I think Yellowstone's about to blow.
Oh dang, not Yellowstone, man.
Yeah,
you got the ice caps melting. We still got some stuff coming. Yeah, okay, then so that
we're not near done.
We're not done yet. You right. Well, I guess. I
want to bring some sunshine to your day.
I was thinking it was the end, and you just let me know, girl. No, there's more stuff coming.
There's more stuff.
Well, they got us being doomsday, and no vaccine, and we can't do nothing. The kids can't go back to school, and all this stuff. So
yeah, there's no sunshine here. So if you want a good message, I don't have that. I got nothing but doom.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna get somebody crying here in a minute.
I know. I'll be like, so the financial stuff.
Bring that guy back.
I know, man. It'd be like my best show ever because everybody gonna be watching it. What? Right? I know. But because of I don't know. Like you said, you don't see the change, so I don't know if the money's still flowing regularly to affect your business. I mean, who buying a house right now? Anybody buying houses or needing that type of services?
Capital and credit are going to get tight. I know right now at the big picture, institutional, like tens of millions, billions, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
In fact, this is all this is what I read right here. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it, but it's all white papers on stuff.
Right.
They're talking about the Treasury bills affecting the FX, swaps, all kinds of real technical stuff. Basically, man, that there's not as much money. The liquidity isn't there.
Yeah.
If you're a GM and you got GM, biggest epiphany I had when I started out and all this was realizing that money, we think of money as me and you buying, tennis shoes. I use it to buy stuff and I keep it in my wallet or purse or whatever.
Yeah.
On these big companies, it's a commodity or a material for trade. It's used to make
tangible. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And like GM needs credit floats to pay payroll. Big money, overnight stuff. They have receivables, but they don't have that cash in their pocket.
Right.
And so what's happening is that these big companies are having hard times getting that cash overnight. What's called the repo market. Repurchase. It's not repo like somebody's coming to get your car, but it's an abbreviation for the repurchase market. Okay. And basically, that's overnight lending for short-term stuff. For big, I'm Ford, you're GMC, and we go to somebody's big, super big bank, central bank, Fed, or whatever they go to, and get that money. And so what they're having is basically issues of getting that. So, and that was ongoing before all this happened. So all that COVID did is
slow it down.
amplify that. Yeah, it
Oh,
caused
okay,
it to
then.
be worse.
Oh,
Yeah, it
wow.
caused it to be worse. And what I was saying before, the markets, anything financial is not just linear one thing. It's always
Right,
multi-level
layers,
stuff,
layers,
right?
yeah.
It's layers. So it's like a house of cards. When you start kicking out pieces of it, stuff starts falling
Scramble it
down.
Yeah.
So that slowed down. That was already happening. And then, as I see it, the market's overvalued. And this is what I was tracking back in October, November, December, and then January. I was like, something's coming.
Yeah.
And you can ask Charlotte and everybody, say, hey, something's coming, because I was watching the S&P 500 and the Case-Shiller PE ratio was starting to spike. And what that means is basically to buy a share of the S&P 500, which is the top select 500 companies.
Yeah.
The cost of that compared to the earnings of what you get back, it's a multiple. So it's starting to become basically. It was like buying a Ford Tempo for $500,000.
Oh,
it's
Lord,
just not worth the money, right? You don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. I was like, hey, it's coming. And when it crossed that a certain threshold, it happened. And when a week later, all this stuff started falling apart. And so I was just looking at it today, and it's starting to go back up to those late last year, early this year levels. So I think we're not out of the woods yet. And I know most everybody I talk to and keep track of, they're not expecting anything. And I would say that too. I think I've even told our little group, like with Charlotte and everybody, I don't expect any forward momentum till June, July. I would say later July into fourth quarter, the end of the year type of stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is then you start running into the holidays.
Exactly. Now it's off, it slows down. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think retail's hurting. It's going to have retail's going to be hurting and that kind of thing. So it's going to be good year.
Yeah.
Good year at least.
So this type of forecast that you saw coming, was this the similar type of forecast for the big three when they went through their bankruptcy and all that? Is the same type of thing, or is that different spending?
Different spending. If you're talking about like 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what they were doing, and I used to study. I did quite a few of my case studies on the financial crisis, because what they were doing was residential mortgage-backed securities, and that when you hear somebody say, I don't see how everybody didn't go to prison, it's still a surprise that only one guy actually. Wasn't very many. Basically, they were taking crappy loans and structuring them together and called tranches, which were different levels. So like AAA being the best, if you will, and C's and all that being the garbage.
Yeah.
But what they didn't realize was, one, the government was guaranteeing a lot of this stuff, which means it would have been paid no matter what. And the AAAs that they thought were so great were a bundle of a bunch of garbage. And so if you take a bunch of garbage, they just rated it to make it look good.
Look good. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it all started falling, it was literally from the top down and started crashing. And so it was when I was doing it, looking at it, especially on like the Abacus, look up Abacus if you get a chance. It shows you how they structured it. The guy that was, I'm trying to remember his name, but he's a famous finance guy, but he was actually financing part of it and betting against it, but nobody ever actually saw it. So,
wow.
That's credit default swap. So
I'm getting ready to say, geez.
Yeah, he was saying all this stuff was good. He was part of the evaluation committee, but he's also buying what's called a credit default swap, which is like insurance in case it failed.
Right.
So guess who held all the credit default swaps?
Exactly.
Same guy telling everybody it was good.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how it failed. Is once those people, like I was talking about earlier, had 4 houses in the Hamptons.
Right.
And they're working as a lunch lady.
Yeah.
Once they couldn't pay once they couldn't pay their mortgage, it just started defaulting.
Yeah.
And once it hit like 20%, it was done. It just,
That's like betting on black and red on the roulette table. You know what I'm saying?
Come on. Unless you're in the know, unless you're in there, you're the one making the moves.
Exactly. She said it was she said it was Madoff. That's what she said. Was that it?
Madoff was one of them. He was a Ponzi scheme guy.
Yeah.
He was a reputable. He started out as a reputable investor. They actually got a good movie about him. Robert De Niro's in it. Check it out. I can't think of the name of it. And he started a Ponzi scheme where basically they take in investor money and use that to pay out and move it around and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was in about that same time. The financial crisis actually exposed him, because when he lost all his money, he had no money.
Right. No real nothing. Exactly.
That's right.
So
That's exactly
she
right.
says, she got one more question. She says, the financial advice for musicians and entertainment industry and advice.
Entertainment industry. Well, that's a unique industry. I'm still learning about that industry myself.
Okay.
Just I would say just like anything right now,
Mhm.
it's you'll see a lot of people telling you to hold on to what you got right now and make
Mhm.
incremental moves. You gotta be. I mean, it's just you'll see very little recommendations to buy. You will see some to
Yeah.
buy certain things,
Right.
but overall, just hold the course. Like I said, I wouldn't make any huge decisions unless you already had them on the books,
Oh,
or at least
exactly.
or at least probably a year.
She go up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I'm moving my stuff around.
Right. No. I agree with you. It's about not overindulging yourselves at this point in time, you know.
Yeah,
And you know, it's kind of like a waiting game. You just got to see how things play out, and
exactly.
because the world's still here, and we haven't lost nothing. We've just lost the ability to move around like we really wanted to. At least the ones that are really, you know, staying home, being safe. But everything's still the same. When we finally get out to play, everything will still be right where we left it or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
there's nothing.
So
It's I think, like, you know, to go back to entertainment. One thing that surprised me is I noticed a lot more outside investment as far as overtly on movies. Like, what did I watch the other day? Can't remember what it was. It was a war movie. It was a remake of a war movie, but China, some Chinese company had financed it,
wow,
which I found to be kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, because the you know, at that time the Japanese forces had to, you know, obviously they're an enemy, but
exactly.
they were you know. I had a feeling that the Chinese helped say, hey, make these guys a little bit more of the enemy than what was maybe the case.
Exactly.
You know, they had a little spin or bias to it.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that in some of the movies here lately, they had a lot of Chinese financial backing, which is a new thing for a lot of that. And I would say probably a lot of entertainers and entertainment industry are going to have to look outside for different sources of funding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe crowdsourcing or what kind of non-traditional, because you know the credit's going to dry up. It's going to get to where it was, you know, 2009, 10, where
exactly,
it was hard to get a car loan, much less anything else,
Oh.
especially if you had some kind of venture.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. With some buyers.
Oh yeah, she keeps going on about some touring and whatever. So I don't know if you could really speak on that, but I'll try to speak on it. She asked about album dropping and planning tours, and I'm like, I don't think that's what he do. Or what he
planning tours?
Yeah, and I'm just like, wait a minute, I don't think he does that.
I mean, I don't know what kind of tours you want to plan.
I know. I think she's talking about. I guess she's still back on the industry part of it. And I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't plan on making any big tours right now unless you got a local municipality that's down for it. You know,
Yep.
like South by Southwest. I think I just got an email from them. They're doing something online. A lot of people are going to the online stuff. I know I watched the Houston Symphony here at the house. They do a thing now where you can watch them on Friday nights.
Oh,
online.
nice.
Yeah, it's like people at the house. Yeah, so everybody's kind of going back. You know, it's all in the house or online. I don't see a lot of people doing any kind of large gatherings,
no,
official large gatherings.
Exactly, we know about.
That we know about. So.
Maybe down at the park or around 7.
Maybe at the beach, you know.
Exactly, right.
In the Ozarks or whatever. I seen them partying the other day.
Exactly. Anything else you want to add about financing for the people?
Well, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, the rest of it for me, I'm a wonk, so I get down in the weeds. So to get to the point where everybody's like wondering what the hell I'm talking about. I would say keep an eye on that India-China thing.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is the world is much more interconnected than I think as Americans, and I'm obviously pro-American, obviously, but
right.
I think it's growing up in a small town, a lot of things I didn't realize until I went overseas.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of take it for granted, but we're a lot more interconnected than maybe we even want to be sometimes.
Yeah.
And people take into realization. But if something happens between those two, it'll disrupt a lot of our supply chain even more than it already has been.
Right.
And thank God, whether whatever it is you love or hate about the government, but hopefully they get smart enough to move the supply chain away from China.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a national security threats from the get-go. The pharmaceutical industry, I think, gets 80% of its supply from China. And to me, and you know, from my background, I see China as an adversary. So why would you give China 80% of your supply chain?
Everything.
Antibiotics, antibiotics, gloves, masks, all that stuff that we need right now comes from them. And so, like you see a lot of reports, I even share them online. You know, getting a lot of FBI reports and Homeland Security. You know, garbage tests, garbage masks, you know, fraud stuff. You know, crap from you know, like Alibaba stuff that's not meant for consumption getting used, and it's not real stuff. And so that's what happens all the time. So hopefully they get smarter. Like I said, wherever you sit in the grand scheme of stuff, I think everyone can agree on that. That's whoever's idea that was probably a stupid idea in the first place.
Exactly.
So and that was a gradual thing.
Oh yeah, so
it was here thing.
Yeah, we definitely have to get back to American made. I think this is a true testament of it, that we really gotta keep things home. You know, keep things in the States as much as we can, Absolutely. So. But I want to thank you for coming on. Good conversation. I like the topic. I like what you had to say about it. I don't think it was too far out there that couldn't nobody understand what you're talking about or whatever.
I was going to just wear a bow tie. I wasn't sure how fancy you needed me to be.
Nah, you didn't.
Then I realized I needed pants and a shirt.
Oh, yes, you might say I can't go all out. Now you did it when you did the flag. I said, oh, he came with a background, huh?
You see that?
I know, man.
I didn't want you to see my dirty clothes hamper behind me.
Right.
Yeah.
It said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No, I'm always here. Right? We're just regular people. We're just trying to do something.
Exactly. So everybody out there watching, this is Phil. He gave us some financial advice and advising on some different things. He did tell us to make sure we look for India and China, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yes. So India, China. Yeah. Don't expect any good news till the end of the year.
Right.
If not this time next year. So just stay the course. Basically, hunker down. Save your pennies.
There you go.
I mean, it's right now. It's just a holding pattern.
Yeah, exactly. And if you guys hold on, you'll realize how much money y'all have been spending and how much you're going to save if you don't spend what you used to spend. So you guys stay safe. Save your pennies. Save your money. Hey, we'll get through this all together. So thanks a lot, Phil, for joining me today.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys later. The Say What Show. Yes, what up? Y'all, that is the first portion of the Say What Show with Phil Chat, financial advisor, or how did he say it was? But he gives financial advice on bigger, like he said, mortgaging and housing and things like that. But finances at the end is finances, and you need to know your finances. You don't have to have the $1 million budget to know or have to know how to handle your money. So we are regular people, so we got to make sure that our pennies are counted for. Every dollar is saved. So save up you guys' money during this time. I'll get my mic over here. Probably can hear me better. But save up your money, you guys, for the rainy days. And unfortunately, there's going to be some rainy days coming. This pandemic is nothing to laugh at. It's not a joke. It's something very serious that we got to get through. I can't stress enough for you guys to wear your mask. There will be some situations where the numbers are going to go back up, and you guys are going to be like, "What happened?" Well, the hot weather started happening. We're getting closer to summertime, and I get it. I've taken a couple of rides the last couple of days, and I needed that sun. I needed to be outside, and I feel better. I felt better, and I feel better. But you still got to do it. Protecting yourself. So you guys continue to protect yourself. I'm going to end this portion of the show, the interview portion, and I'm going to come back probably about a half an hour to an hour to do the music portion. Sister girl ain't ate yet, and I'm starving. So I see you guys probably about the next 30 minutes to an hour, and we're going to do the music portion. Got a nice lineup. I did a call out for people to send me music, and they sent me plenty of it. So you guys look for about an hour's worth of good music to play. It's a mixture of some gospel, some R&B, some hip hop, some country. It's a little bit of everything. I like those type of playlists. Okay, so you guys stay tuned with me. And like I said, about 30 minutes to a half an hour. Thanks again, Phil, for joining. Thank you for everybody that came in here on Facebook as well as YouTube. And I got to be right back. All right. See you guys.